It's time to rip off Watch Mojo with another one of them top 10 lists. But wait, actually this time it's only a top 3 list. Welcome to the top 3 NES games beginning with the letter X. Of the many NES games released back in the day, only 3 began with the letter X. So it looks like my job is simple, to figure out which one is the best, which one is the most fun, which one, well, stinks the least. Okay, let's go. I know your patience is limited. So, Xevious is at the bottom of my list. Or should I be pronouncing it Xevious? And this may come as a surprise considering my relative enjoyment of the shooter genre and the critical and commercial success of Xevious back in its arcade heyday. You controlled the Solvaloo, flying across the Earth trying to take out the Xevious invaders who are attempting to conquer the planet. The Solvaloo can either blast enemy ships directly in front of it, or drop projectiles to hit targets below. Now don't get me wrong, it does exactly what it sets out to do. The controls are fine, and I can even forgive how archaic the graphics and sound appear. Okay, actually, no, I can't. What is the deal with this soundtrack? Listen to this music and tell me the composer wasn't just passed out on the couch throughout the game's entire development span. So I have to turn off the sound in order to get any enjoyment out of this? Can do, Namco. Can do. And did someone draw these backgrounds on an Etch-a-Sketch? Where's all the good stuff? You know, trees, houses, people. Well, there's a crusty forest, but not much else. I suppose that helps the Solvaloo focus on his business of destroying flying yen coins and grumpy gray hedgehog statues. Dang it, I knew I shouldn't have installed those roof tiles in a windstorm. This is basically what you'll see throughout the entire game. And in classic arcade fashion, this game doesn't have an ending, meaning this will loop indefinitely. Oh, joy! Xevious may have been influential in numerous future shooters, but good lord am I happy future games actually got it right. Xenophobe is another arcade to NES conversion from the good people at Bally Midway, although the conversion itself is by Sunsoft. It's not that great either, but it's edgedly better than Xevious. Just look at this funky logo here. The word Xenophobe is all gooey, some lady is about to play the guitar, and man, this alien be looking hangry. So you choose from one of 3 exterminators. There were 9 in the arcade, but that would overload the precious NES circuits. Dr. Quack, a duck physician, Mr. Fogg, a slack-jawed robot of sorts, and Dr. Zordir's a potato. And you have 2 goals: to eliminate hostile alien beings called Xenos from all the moon bases and space stations, and also to collect leftover tools and other valuables from those bases, all before it explodes into a miasma of space crust. You vaporize into the base and holy space crust! Your sprite looks ridiculous. You have a lot of health, but the enemies can be a bit relentless, including this alien/tiger thing. It's called a Snotterpillar, and I wish it wasn't. Grab the loot dropped and the health bonuses, then move along to the next screen. Enemies will appear out of nowhere, and there's little you can do except exterminate, which, well, that's your job. Oh, a barrier! That's no good. The gameplay is a little dry, and unfortunately, like Xevious, there isn't an ending, just a loop back through the game's 8 levels. I don't care for the graphical style either, and the lack of music during gameplay is both haunting and lazy. Xenophobe isn't that great, but I still rank it above Xevious because that one's even less impressive today. And then there's Xexyz. Xybots? Zex. Oh, okay. How do you pronounce this game's title? Oh, Xexyz. Xexyz, got it. Thanks, Hudson Soft?
By Hudson Soft.
As opposed to Hudson Pointy or something. This was actually developed by Atlas, believe it or choose not to. Xevious and Xenophobe were arcade hits, but Xexyz was a fresh project, and fresh it is indeed. Grabbing strong influences from both platformers and shooters of the time, Xexyz combines both relatively seamlessly. Each area begins with the hero, Apollo, making his way through platforming scenes coated with funky enemies and a surprisingly high number of doors, making his way to the Mechanic Castle. Yes, where mechanics work, I guess. But before you can enter the castle, you have to earn a a force star from a giant statue beast that fires repeatedly at you. Win the star, and you can enter the door to the mechanic castle. More exploration ensues as you seek further information. Hop in. Time to go for a ride through a shooter stage. Choose the right door at the end, or else you have to do that area all over again. Stink! At the end of each castle, David Crosby here lets you ride his flying saucer to fight whatever metal crustacean blocks your path to victory. And repeat. Later boss battles can be excruciatingly difficult, so bring a turbo controller to the party. The controls are solid, the graphics are definitely nothing to scoff at, and the music can be pretty catchy. I consider Xexyz to be a hidden gem in the NES library. Heck, it's even hidden amongst the many Hudson Soft games released, buried under heavy hitters like Adventure Island or Milan's Secret Castle. Unfortunately, it has never been re-released or sequelized. Honorable mention goes to Xybots, which never got an official release. Actually, it doesn't look that great. Okay, scrap the honorable mention. Scrap it. Thanks for watching! If you have some retro hype buried deep down in your soul, drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Your support touches me like the soft fur of a baby deer. Isn't that sweet?